Hello, welcome back, Steve's Retirement Corner. Retirement is the goal. First video from the garden this year. I was out here just prettying things up. It's coming along. Still got some small plants, but those are the ones I grew by seed. You can tell the difference in the ones I grew by seed and the ones I had to go back and buy actual plants because I lost some. But hey man, retirement was the goal for me, man. You know, ever since the day I started working, I wanted to quit. It's not that I didn't like my jobs. I had some good jobs, man, and I enjoyed every one of them. I enjoyed the people. It's that responsibility of having to go in there, you know, in the mind space a job takes up. You know, because you don't realize how much stress you have on you at any job, man. I was just a flunky, man, and I had a lot of, you know, I had stress on me, not a lot, but I could tell it the day I left that I was no longer feeling the way I was, wore down and drug out, you know. That was that stress coming off of me. Come from having a responsibility of going to work every day. I didn't mind going to work or working. I just didn't want to have to be there. You know, you got to show up on time. You got to work at double if you get drafted over. You got to work at Christmas. You know, you got to go in at midnight when it's 10 degrees and snowing. You know, I just didn't want that responsibility. You know, and all the office politics, man. And you always got that one jackleg that screws everything up for everybody else. I was tired, Doc. Not so much physically, but mentally. And I just wanted to get, you know. So retirement was my goal. You know, I didn't want no daggone second act, and I ain't looking to refire nothing but the grill, maybe the fire pit. I just, you know, I wanted to get out of there just for some peace and quiet and relaxation. I mean, I had no more lofty goals than that, you know. And, you know, and retirement give it to me. You know, I do things at my pace. You know, you know, if I don't want to do it today, I ain't going to do it today. You know. You know, and I enjoy sitting 5-10 minutes here, 15-20 minutes over yonder. It's relaxing. It's peaceful, and it allows my mind to wander. You know. And that's why I'll never get bored in retirement, because I have quite a bit of downtime, and when I do that, my mind wanders. It's not that you stop living when you retire. You don't stop making goals and plans and stuff. It's just more based on your situation at the time. You know. The goal was to get to retirement, and that ain't no easy task, man. First off, you got to live long enough to get there. I mean, how many of you know that never made it to 60, much less 62 or 65 or whatever? You know, you don't have no idea when your number's up. None. So just getting there is a miracle. And then getting there with a fair bit of health on you. I mean, you know, you got to have a goal to get to, and then from then on, you know, you still make goals and plans and everything. It's just tailored around, you know, to you specifically. You know, I make goals or plans every day. I don't ever tackle very many of them. A lot of them I'll never do, man, and I know that. But I'm fine with it, you know. But yeah, retirement was my goal. After that, man, you know, when you're a kid, man, doing nothing comes natural to you. As you grow up and get responsibility, and you know, you're becoming an adult, so to speak. You know, you lose that ability for some reason. It just boggles my mind. It's hard to believe. It's hard to understand. But and I think being a flunky is really a big help. You know. But yeah. I know, you know, I don't want a job, man. When I left, man, I ain't missed a darn thing about it. That first year or so, I missed goofing off with the buddies up there on there, but other than that, man, I ain't give it two thoughts, man. It just, you know, once you get settled in retirement, you know, because you do a lot of learning. It's a lot of work. You're figuring things out. You're understanding how it actually is. You know, once you get to that point, I mean, retirement is sweet. It is just as good or better than you ever thought it could be. It has been for me. You know. Now, you know, I'm a simple person, man. You know, I just kind of, I mean, I enjoy piddling around and just kicking back. I just do. I don't have to stray far to enjoy myself. And you know, the time flies when you're retired, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, you wake up before you know it, it's time for dinner. It flies by. You know, but I mean, I understand. You know, everybody's different. You know I just wanted a slower pace, and because when you're working, man, you're all the time on. Whether you're doing something for work, you're thinking about work, you got something going on at the house, the kids coming up, I mean, you're all the time hustling, and you just don't get no chance to take a daggone break, you know. Now, all the noise out there about retirement tells you something just exactly opposite. And that's where I thought retirement was supposed to be, but it wasn't for me. That's where I screwed up at. That's why I saved like I did. I saved for retirement that really wasn't for me. But I wasn't smart enough to understand they were talking about one specific type of retirement. They weren't talking about the one I was looking forward to. You know, it's that mind freedom is really a big deal. And that freedom of time, man, it really is, you know, it's, it just makes you feel good on the inside. You know what I mean? It's really hard to explain. But I don't know, it puts a pep in your step, I can tell you that. Because it's nothing that actually has to be done. You know, it doesn't have to be done by 9:30 this morning. You can get it tomorrow at noon if you want to. You know. That being said, now I do have a schedule, a routine, but it's flexible, man. I think being flexible, being able to adjust, to keep learning and open-minded, willing to try things. I think those are all good qualities to have when you decide to retire. But you gotta have a goal to shoot for. I mean, it's hard to get somewhere if you ain't got no idea where you're going. And that's where that honesty comes in. You gotta be honest with yourself about how your retirement's gonna look. Because once you get into it, everything changes. It just does, you know. I don't know, man. But yeah, make your goal. I had a goal to get that daggone wheelbarrow fixed. That was 4 years ago. I marked out one on my book every year. All I gotta do is put a daggone handle on it. You know, so it's I don't know. Well, it's gonna be a pretty week down here. A little bit of rain, but it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be in the 70s. So I'll have to make do. Might have to put my long johns on. Y'all make it a good week, Doc, and let me get started. I'm starting to grow into this chair. Y'all take care of yourself. We'll talk to you later.